Yep.
Here we are again.
Popcorn.
Can't get rid of us. And we do have actual popcorn.
Yeah,
this
I appreciate
time,
it.
so feel free to reach through the screen, viewer. This is all interactive.
It's very good.
Yeah, white cheddar.
White cheddar, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that flavor.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, a lot's been going on in the old culture they call pop lately, which our title comes from, of course.
Like what? What's been going on?
Well, I'm still a little bugged by the whole Walking Dead finale. I probably will be bugged by that until they come around with their.
Yeah.
You saw the final. Yeah.
I did, and then didn't someone go through and look at the wide shot and count how many times it counted, and then said it was Glenn.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple different ways. Yeah, they've done that, and then supposedly they've slowed down the audio, and they hear Maggie shouting Glenn or something like that. Supposedly,
Okay.
but who'd even? Yeah, they
Yeah.
could just be lying to us for. But yeah, the whole counting out the eeny, meeny, miny thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, that was dumb.
I mean, it was fine if they ended it the way, in the comic books. It was Glenn in the comic books, and it's just like he's dead, and that's it. And then you're like, and actually, I think the rest of the comic that didn't even end the comic book. I think it moved on after that. So this whole thing of wait however many months until October to figure out who it is. I mean, I don't get when you have a cliffhanger like that where you just seem to be screwing with people. Just we're almost gonna show you something. And again, the comic book fans know this scene is coming. Like the first time Negan shows up, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Beats Glenn to death with a base. And I remember it being so gruesome in the comics, thinking this cannot happen on TV. They just cannot show this. And I'm pretty still convinced they're not gonna show. I mean, obviously they're gonna reveal, but I'm not even sure when they'll reveal it. I feel like we could go 3 episodes into the new season, still not sure who's dead. After that dumpster debacle. I mean, it's
what makes Glenn, or what makes Negan in the comics at least, because they haven't revealed a lot about him on the show. What makes him such a dangerous villain? I mean, why does everyone follow him? He has all these people that are apparently, following him as the leader, and they're going to help him.
Well, again, I guess it's that sort of it's either you do what I say or I beat you to death with a baseball bat kind of thing. I don't know that I've never struck me as a super charismatic guy or anything like that. And I mean, he curses a lot, again, something they can't do on TV. But it's one of those he curses in such a ridiculous way. You're like, you're one of those guys that proves the theory that some people have that people who curse are uneducated or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I never really got again, I think it was just sheer brutality and menace. But again, on the TV show, it doesn't quite seem like such a menace when they've already killed a bunch more of the saviors, and it's ooh, I'm going to kill one of your people.
Right.
Yeah, it's like ISIS, right? I compared to ISIS. It's they're not really killing sheer numbers of people like Westerners anyway, but it's the whole I'm going to cut off somebody's head and then I'm going to film it kind of thing. It's that whole doing it for an audience, I guess. Because just what it was a couple episodes before, Rick had a guy he thought was Negan. It's sorry to hand into this. Yeah. He didn't do it with any kind of theatrics or so. Maybe that's part of the whole Negan thing. It's make sure you do it with an audience and whatnot. And I don't know. That and the dumpster thing that kind of wrecked the whole season. I thought it was a pretty decent season overall, but it's that whole dumpster thing. I'll never forgive them. So yeah, my joke was that there was actually a dumpster in the forest somewhere, and they all jumped under the dumpster before. So, but now I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead. They're only doing 7 episodes.
Yeah, they don't do a
season,
lot of them.
So it's well. At least with that, there's less drama in terms of manipulating the audience. It's every episode, they just do their thing, they move on.
Yeah, I'm one behind on that. I haven't seen this week's yet.
It's pretty good.
I do feel like on that show they somewhat missed an opportunity to show society collapsing. I mean, they did a little bit in the first season when they were inside the gated off neighborhood, but then they bomb LA and they don't really show much of that besides maybe it'd be too expensive for them to do all those special effects. But I mean, this season, most of the show, they're on a boat. It's you're not really showing me anything that's different from the other series in a way. I mean, yeah, they weren't on a yacht in it, but I mean, I think they could have shown more, how did the government collapse? I mean, how did it spread to everywhere, all over the world? I mean, things like that were kind of glossed over, I feel like.
That's going to be the second spinoff.
Yeah, right. So, I don't know. It's okay.
Watch the next one will be called "Be Wary of the Walking."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I guess to me the whole being on a boat thing adds a little something to it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
although we haven't.
I mean,
seen
they could do that. They could still have them on the boat, but I think before
Yeah.
they got there, they should have had a
Right.
couple episodes showing how the whole society kind of collapsed. And
I'm a little worried with that. I'm sure you've seen the recent episode. Then I think it was just the one you probably saw last. It was like a little worried we might be getting into Lost territory here. We're going to start doing flashbacks of here's our life before.
Yeah.
I mean, they have. Did they ever do that on? I don't think they've ever done that on the regular Walking Dead. Or a character in the. I mean, they'll flashback to an earlier time during the zombie apocalypse and show you how that maybe that character.
Yeah.
But oh no, they did it with what's her name, Michonne. They did a little bit
did.
of a flashback to back when she was in the real world kind of stuff. Okay.
it was brief, but yeah, you're right.
But I don't like that. Anytime Lost really ruined flashbacks for me. They did so many of them. Just like
Yeah.
anytime I couldn't even watch that show Arrow because it was like every episode we're gonna have a freaking.
Well, then too, in the Lost flashbacks, it was always like, oh, here's one person that
Yeah.
is a very minor character, but they're here in this flashback to tie everything together. And it's like, come on.
And then in the end, you learn that it was just complete coincidence.
Yeah,
There's no
right. Yeah,
reason.
I was just thinking about Lost today,
all
for some
connected.
reason. And well, that's again. I think we've talked about this.
Oh yeah, we
think,
did.
Yeah, we have.
45 minutes for the finale.
But someone figured out the premise, and that it was purgatory, and the writers are like, oh, what are we going to do now? So let's have this stupid thing about how, they all die, but there is no now here, and they're all together, or whatever. That was, come on, terrible.
It was an alternate universe that they
Yeah.
created with their. That's part of the problem of Twitter and all this sort of this culture we're in now, where everybody connects online. Supposedly the dumpster thing, like I probably would. I don't know if I would have even thought of that, but people apparently thought of that within like hours or days of the episode airing. They figured out, oh yeah, Glenn must have gotten under the dumpster, because it looked to me like you can't get out of this thing. Of course, Glenn's been involved in like 10 different situations where it
he's
looks like
always
you
wiggling
can't get
out
out
of
of this, because that's just them teasing people who read the comics, going, haha, we could kill Glenn now. They've actually had a thing where a guy had a baseball bat behind the Terminus.
Yeah, Terminus.
About
right.
ready to
he was
smack
gonna
Glenn.
he was going to get
It's like,
whacked.
I don't get the whole screwing with the audience or winking at them that much. I mean, it just seems like.
Well, Game of Thrones is why I thought of Lost. I just
yeah?
why, because of Jon Snow.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that was the worst cliffhanger
Brutal.
ever, because
Brutal.
everyone knew from the last scene of the previous season that the witch would bring him back. I mean, that's immediately what people were saying, and maybe it's that way in the books too. Again, I didn't read the books, I don't care to.
Yeah.
But come on, we all knew he was coming back.
Did you see the SNL sketch on that?
No, I did not.
Oh man, you gotta check that out.
Was that this past week? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They have these two like female characters off to the side, and they have what's his name, the Onion Knight or whatever, saying at the beginning, Sir Davos saying, "Jon Snow is dead. He's deader than dead. You can't get any deader than this." And the other guy's like, "Should we bury him?" He's like, "No, let's just leave him out to show everyone just how dead he really is." And meanwhile, these two, Brie Larson was the guest, and they had this other females. They're going, guys, can we pick up the pace here?
Yeah.
We only get 10 hours a season, and we're kind of spending a lot of time on this. We know it's going to be brought back to life, so let's just do it. And then Melisandre comes in and starts going through this elaborate ritual. I don't know if it was that elaborate on the show, but she's like, don't worry, I'm sure they're cutting away to other stuff, to Westeros or whatever during this. And there's like, no, we're actually in here in this room the whole time. She's like, oh, really? Oh, well, yeah.
I'm going to have to go look at that. I saw some of that episode, and I missed that, so that's hilarious.
Yeah, I got my free HBO weekend for the season premiere, as they want to do from AT&T. But then, I'll wait till they get my next free weekend, and I'll just binge the whole season. But that premiere, I'm like, yikes, we are just kind of jumping around.
Right.
It's almost like a refresher episode, like, remember all these characters and the plots they were in? We'll advance them just a little bit more, but they've got so many people to jump around to now.
At least on that, I do feel like a lot happened. I mean, they killed off several people.
Yeah,
And then the second, I mean,
Yeah.
not giving it away, then the second episode of the season is boring as hell.
That's
That's always what they seem to do. Have a great episode followed up by a terrible one.
Yeah.
You know? But
And I, of course, they said before the season, this is the best one ever. So
yeah,
you can't keep saying that and then give us this crap. But so there was that. Again, I'm sure that what the people, that guy who's stumbled upon this show on his cable thing or whatever, what he really wants to know, like, are Matt and Tim ever going to say something about Trump? Because I haven't heard enough from the culture.
we did last time.
I know we did, but
Yeah.
but so much has happened since then. Now he's the nominee, and it's about to get real, or it has. I mean,
It's going to
do you have any
get even more
thoughts
ridiculous.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see who his VP is.
Yeah.
Or will be, and I haven't really read any rumors there. Mm-hmm. It'll be Omarosa.
that would be awesome.
Omarosa's a great woman.
Gary Busey.
Gary
would be the
Busey.
best. That would be.
He'll be the Secretary of Interior.
Yeah, they had a church. They brought back the church lady on SNL.
I did see that. I saw that part of
I
it.
did like their line about when I saw you make that decision about something like with Gary Busey. I said, "Give this man the nuclear launch code." But yeah, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It's just too. But I was hearing today that he's gotten more votes than any other in Republican primaries. He's gotten more votes than apparently anyone ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if it includes Democrats, but definitely when it comes to Republican candidates, and I hope it's not ever, but I think they were saying it was of all time. Like he somehow got a record number of people to show up to those primaries. And again, maybe it's him, maybe it's just that people are so fed up they would have done that anyway. But it's hard to believe. It seems like
Maybe a lot of Democrats voted for him.
Could be.
I mean, in some states you can't do that, in others you can. You know?
Right, exactly.
I don't care who the Democrat nominee is. I just want Trump to be there because we'll beat him, and then they'll go vote for Trump in the.
Oh
primary.
yeah, that could be. It's but I've also heard that some people think that it's like Hillary, who also like that's one thing they have in common. A lot of people do not like either of these candidates, and yet they're the ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have a really high negatives. Trump's are higher supposedly, but of course with women they're off the charts too high. What was that I heard from somebody? Oh yeah, because this guy on Morning Joe said something about how Trump really. I mean, he's like Hispanics, that's a whole separate issue, but
He loves Hispanics. He had a taco salad that day.
Taco Bowl. I tell you, the most bizarre thing about that is like I have not thought about having a taco bowl in forever. But I saw that, I was like, damn,
they are good.
They're good.
They are good.
How come I have not been eating taco bowls? But yeah, for a Cinco de Mayo thing, you're like, is he aware how goofy that is?
Well, it'd be like you're at a Chinese restaurant. I love Chinese people eating your Chinese. That's just stupid. I mean,
or eating something that they don't actually have back. Like there is no apparently a taco bowl.
Right.
As a part of the like it'd be like, hey, I'm eating my Chinese food and I'm eating the big old plate of crab rangoon,
right, which in China they don't eat apparently.
Yeah,
That's what we eat. Yeah.
It just seems like that's the weirdest choice. Like if you had an enchilada, a burrito, any of the normal staples. But I think Taco Bell invented that one, or somebody did.
There's a place by my house, Mike Duffy's Pub and Grill. I never have gotten it, but every time I go there, it seems like I see someone eating the big old taco salad. Like I need to get that. I mean, there's nothing better than a dish where you also eat the plate or the bowl, and it's it.
Like they said on Seinfeld, nothing more satisfying than you finish it and all you see is the table.
Yeah.